So we're live.
We're live. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Nerdy Up North podcast. It's a nerdy podcast hosted by Northern Nerds. I am one of your hosts, Sam.
I am. Wait there.
Hmm.
I normally am one of the hosts, but I think today we might do things a little bit differently. So just to keep things a little bit interesting. So I've made a realization this month. It's a very special month. It is, like I say, Appreciation for Women Month, which the lovely Becca and Sarah have been doing an absolutely amazing job of representing and showcasing all the brilliant women in nerd culture. So to say a big thank you to Becca. But that's not really enough, is it, though? Because I feel like as Nerdy Up North, we've kind of let the women down. Because we've not really celebrated women this much this month. We've done our best, but we've not really had a big celebration and a women centric episode. So I'm not going to be the host tonight. So no, Becca, you're going to be taking hosting duties. So you're going to be in charge with Sammy of the Nerdy Up North podcast. And like I say, just to say a big thank you and for everything you do as well. I'm fucking off. So have fun,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
And the dark side has won.
We
It was
are
a bit
one.
easy. It was a bit easy there.
So come on then, Becca, introduce yourself.
I'm the other host, Becca, and today I'm joined by the lovely Phoebes. There we go. Welcome, Phoebe. Didn't know that was going to happen. That was a bit of a plot twist. Yes.
Unlike this film. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding. We are here today to talk all wars, all Star Wars, but in particular, The Force Awakens. So, ladies, if you don't mind, I will do the disclaimer and then we can crack on open this episode. Sure. Everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone. If you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on the Facebook group. You can join us in the Discord or the comment section where we can have an open discussion. But what we won't have is anyone coming for us and tell us our opinions are wrong, because we can all agree to disagree in fandom. So let's keep it fun, keep it kind, and keep the toxic behaviour out of nerdism.
Yeah. Done.
I'll do. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, so we're here for Force Awakens. And I actually have mapped kind of some stuff out tonight for us to discuss. Especially with it being, we're here to celebrate women. We're here to celebrate and tonight celebrate the women of Star Wars. Kinda in this movie.
Women of Star Wars?
There's actually
Phasma and Carrie Fisher.
There's 4.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
There's 4 women. Go on, Phoebe.
Phasma,
The clock's
Rey,
turn.
Carrie Fisher.
Maz Kanata.
Ah! There we go.
The lovely looking to the young guy.
Chewie's one true love.
Exactly. But what I have first is not the taglines. I do have the taglines, but I actually have the scroll for this episode. So to kind of set the scene. So Luke Skywalker has vanished. In his absence, the sinister First Order has risen from the ashes of the Empire and will not rest until Skywalker, the last Jedi, has been destroyed. With the support of the Republic, General Leia Organa leads a brave resistance. She is desperate to find her brother Luke and gain his help in restoring peace and justice to the galaxy. Leia has sent her most daring pilot on a secret mission to Jakku, where an old ally has discovered a clue to Luke's whereabouts.
It's straight to the music.
Yeah, you got to. The music was, as Sammy was reading out, the music was just going round and round in my head.
It was going to come out. It had to come out.
It had to come out.
Well, I have the taglines. Every generation has a story.
It's a bit on the nose, but okay.
Then this one's going to get you. Coming to your galaxy this winter. Yep. The Force is calling to you. Just let it in.
Wow, Disney getting really aggressive with the marketing for this film.
That one actually tickled us. I didn't read that beforehand. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Okay, classic. That could be any of the films.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, Force Awakens. They're the taglines. So first thoughts on a new Star Wars film 10 years after the last one. Did you think after Revenge of the Sith this would actually be a thing?
No. Not at
I
all.
didn't, and I can remember because it came out around Christmas.
Yeah.
And I
Christmas movie.
remember being in a pub with a friend about to go see it and having that kind of like bubbly, excited feeling of like, oh my God, I can't believe we're about to go see a new Star Wars film.
I watched it sort of as it came out in the winter time.
Yeah.
I think I watched it between Christmas and New Year, sort of what, 2016?
15?
Because it came out end of 2015, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it? So I can remember,
2015.
I can remember like watching it just between like Christmas and New Year, and I didn't know what to expect because I can't remember seeing any of the marketing, which I think is a bit appalling because of how big and how large Disney went on the marketing for this film. It was, looking back now, because I've been watching a couple of like the adverts and things for that and around when it all came out, and they went big and they weren't going home in this for this marketing for this
and
film.
they like transformed the inside of the cinema theaters as well, or at least like the Duke of York's did in Brighton when we went to see it, and you walked in and you had like a light side and a dark side, and all over they had like the Sith and the Republic.
We didn't get any of that.
Everything. It was amazing.
No.
No,
Yeah.
we definitely didn't get any of that.
Not at all.
No.
I feel cheated now.
Standard north-south divide.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at you.
This is what happens when all the marketing executives live down here, I guess. It might also just have been a Duke of York's thing, because I think they go hard for like nerdy films. Because they've done like similar vibes when they've done like a Back to the Future marathon. You go in and it's all 80s everywhere. It's great.
That's so cool.
Oh my
I think
God.
we're gonna have to have a field trip.
Just for the cinema, just for the experience.
Yeah.
I remember it. I do remember the lead up to it, but what I really remember distinctly is in 2013. I think it was 2013 when Lucas sold to Disney,
Yes.
and this was like shit.
Yeah. And everyone being very, very like, I can remember like my friends being like, "This is the biggest mistake that Star Wars have ever made."
Yeah.
Like Disney are going to destroy it. We're going to have Mickey Mouse with lightsabers, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
maybe.
I mean, that'd be fun.
Wouldn't argue with that. It became a thing.
Kind of an improvement on Mickey Mouse, honestly.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember that distinct. I do remember that portion, and then it kind of like just settled. There wasn't a great deal more, and then all of a sudden, in the middle, like I think it was around at the end, maybe the beginning of the year, the advert started coming.
Yeah.
And the hints and then the trailer came, and I didn't go to the midnight showing for this one. I did for the other two. I even dragged my mum to one of them because my mum is a huge Star Wars fan. But I went a couple of days after release, and I remember the post going up, "Don't spoil it, don't spoil it," and someone spoiled it for us. So I knew what was going to happen before I went in, which was fine. I nearly returned the favor because I saw it 2D and then I saw it in 3D a couple of days later, and there was a kid behind us who was literally just riding my last nerve, asking all these stupid questions constantly. And I said to my friend at the time, if he doesn't stop, I'm going to turn around him and tell him what happens.
Solo dies.
Have that, you little bitch.
It's your fault.
You wanted a lightsaber? There it is.
Yeah.
Kept asking when Darth Vader was going to show up.
No.
I was like, oh.
Bless
I mean, he must have been about like 8-year-old or something.
Yeah. And also, the closest we get is like the Anakin emo homage of Adam Driver, like really going in. He's really giving it he's like everyone's first D&D character in this.
Yes.
What?
100%. Yes.
I am a Knight of Red.
Cast, though?
I love it. I think it's good casting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poe Dameron. Oh,
Mm,
so good.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it was a good choice, but it was watching it today, it felt very, his humor felt too forced.
Yeah. It's a funny one because I remember him being like the highlight when I first saw it. Watching it today, I was like, actually, Finn is the funny one.
Yeah.
He's got like
Yeah.
he's the one who's delivering the lines that catch you by surprise.
Do you think they did John Boyega a disservice by making him, because Daisy Ridley is the only one who's allowed to keep her accent?
Yeah.
Do you think they did him a disservice by like?
Yeah.
I
But
think his lines would have been hilarious in his London accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but didn't they try that? Didn't they film like a few scenes and then realize that it just really didn't work with everything else, and then make him refilm it?
Hmm.
Because I've seen like him talking about that, and even he says that he's glad that they chose the accent for him. But 100% I agree that it would have been better with his OG accent. I could just sometimes when I've watched it, and I've obviously watched it last week, and then I've watched it maybe about 5 years ago since sort of the original one, and I can just remember thinking and just hearing his accent saying those lines, and I can just remember giggling because I was just like, he's so much better.
Be a bit
But
top boy.
Yeah.
Well, I've done a little bit
I'd
of
be into
homework,
that. Oh,
as I always do. And
top of class.
so George Lucas didn't want to do any more Star Wars, but so it's so conflicting, and the way that he goes on, he very much, I don't want to do it. So when he sold it to Disney, he was like, but I'm happy for someone else to do it. And then when they were going to do it, he was like, oh, I don't know if I like this very much. But his hands were tied.
Yeah.
I've seen a quote where he said it was like going to his ex's wedding.
Yeah.
And I do. So here's a controversial thing. I think the film's better for George Lucas having taken a step back.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the reasons why the universe has expanded so much with Disney, partly because they're the biggest entertainment
Disney
company in the world. They're Disney.
Yeah.
So of course they're gonna like ride that cash cow.
Yeah.
But also I do think having that kind of more expansive feel is partly because it's like he's had to let it go to people who are going to write, like most of the writers on that film clearly fans, like it is fan service. The Millennium Falcon like spaceship chase across the desert planet, like classic Star Wars. Only like I only a fan would write that.
Yeah.
But and also I can imagine like you've created this thing that you are known for, like you hear George Lucas, you automatically think Star Wars. Like it must be hard to let go of your baby, even if you're kind of done with it.
Yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah.
He handed the reins over to Kathleen Kennedy and said, hey, there's really nothing that I can do. JJ was not first pick for the director. People who were considered was David Fincher.
Ooh.
Yep, Brad Bird.
Okay.
And the name's familiar to us, and I just can't think off the top of my head what I know him from. Jon Favreau. And Favreau does go on later to do Mandalorian.
Yeah.
This one, I would love to know how this man would have done Star Wars. Guillermo del Toro.
That's an interesting twist.
Oh, I kind of love that. I think it would have been really funny because you look at his like Hellboy films.
Yeah.
Peak for me. That's peak sci-fi fantasy.
To be honest, anything he does, anything that man touches, I just love. But the top choice was Matthew Vaughn.
Lock, Stock and Smoking Barrels. Is that the guy?
X-Men.
X-Men.
Oh.
He dropped out of. He was that into the job. He dropped out to do an X-Men Days of Future Past. Vaughn, didn't he do
Kingsman?
Oh,
I've just
Kick-Ass.
had to look it up. He also did Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they really wanted Matthew Vaughn. another name that got passed around. This is for director, Ben Affleck.
Actually, Ben Affleck, I think, is a better director than he is an actor.
Yeah,
And I think he's an all right actor. Like, but I think he's a decent director. I
Oh, good.
can't see him doing like a big.
Mm.
I feel like he does like the small budget. Do you know? Like he
Yeah.
does well in the kind of like contained story. I can't imagine what he'd do,
I
like let
can't
loose with
picture
like
how
a
that would
Disney
go.
special
No,
effects.
no,
That'd be
no.
wild.
Yeah. Well, it was Spielberg who put in the ear to Kathleen Kennedy the name J.J. Abrams,
Mm.
and it was there. It took a lot of convincing.
Some like J.J. Abrams, not everyone's a fan, and I can kind of understand that. He can be a bit Marmite.
Yeah.
Sarah's
Lens
just put in
flares.
the chat, imagine the aliens from Del Toro. Oh, it would have been, he'd have had puppets everywhere. It'd been puppets galore.
Oh my goodness, my dogs are going to
Oh.
bark in a second, and I need my mouse cursor. Sorry, I'm getting so confused. Yeah. Anyway, it took a lot of convincing for him to actually do it because of his connection with Star Trek.
Yeah.
So he was
Lens
like-
flares.
Yeah.
Where are the lens flares and the beeps?
Yeah, where are they? That's how you know when it's JJ verse Star Trek or JJ verse Star Wars.
But with JJ, his writing team comes in. Even his composer, he actually has his own composer, and he came in, but he refused to do the music because of John Williams. He was like, no, I'm not being responsible for the person who fucks the scroll up with my music that is not John Williams. I'm not having that on my head.
Wow, and we were saying just before, like, you've got to have the classic Star Wars music as it goes out. Like, that is the thing that gives you a bubble in your tummy.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, and I can remember sitting in the cinema being like, okay, I'm now watching a proper Star Wars film.
Yeah.
This is it. I'm excited.
This is actually the first film Star Wars film that I've ever seen at the cinema. I've never watched
Oh,
any
was
other
it?
one at any other point. This is the only one I've ever watched. Big screen.
Yeah, I can remember being taken to watch the prequels. And because I have a painting of myself in an attic, I, of course, watched the originals in the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, right.
Of course.
I was dragged up on Star Wars, literally
Yeah.
dragged up on it, and it was imprinted quite quickly with a lot of action figures and my very own Millennium Falcon. And
Yeah. For me, it was the Star Wars Lego. My brother Jack had Star Wars Lego, and I can remember like being like, oh, this is all I want to do. is play with your Star Wars Lego.
Oh, when was it? It was only a couple of years ago. The holiday Lego special of Star Wars came out. And that was so much fun.
That trick, because they have the Wookiee tree in Lego, and it's so good. It's such a good set.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, JJ comes along with a lot of people, a lot of decent writers, and his writers really, you talk about fan service. It's not just a case of like, there was a lot of comments about A New Hope, and Force Awakens is very much like a replica of New Hope.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually okay with that, but it was more to do with the inside things, which I will like kind of dip in and out of because I have so many. For example, Finn's name FN2187 refers to Princess Leia's cell in A New Hope, and also a short film called 2187, which was an early influence on George Lucas when he started creating Star Wars.
And that, I think it's moments like that you think, oh, this is a film that has been made with love. So like, because I think the biggest fear when you hear that something's been sold to Disney is you think, oh, it is going to be just like, it's going to become a bit soulless. But I think the benefits of it is you can pick whatever writers you want. So of course you pick the writers who love this thing.
Yeah.
With like a fanatic.
See, I never had that worry because Disney had Power Rangers at some point. So I was kind of very happy that they would have a fandom and they would look after it for a little bit and then maybe sell it off.
Yeah.
But boy, have they not sold it off.
Oh, they are not
Oh,
selling
no.
this.
No, they
No.
are definitely not going to sell it off now. You know, I think it's one of their biggest hitters after Marvel, isn't it?
And
Yeah,
they've had
I
some
would say so for sure.
fantastic TV series out of it as well. Like for me, like where it's gone with things like The Mandalorian, Boba Fett. I'm all for watching Boba Fett have his like retirement plan. It's
Yes.
the most exciting retirement plan in the galaxy.
Yes.
Didn't think I would
100%.
ever want to see it or need to see it, but I'm okay with that.
Disney are giving me
Yeah.
things that I've never needed, but I can't live without them now. They are
Yeah.
they're brilliant.
We didn't ask for them, kind of thing.
No.
Yeah.
There was another one as well. Do you know what? I've picked so many. I should have grouped them all together because there is so many influences from A New Hope that have kind of been placed in here.
Yeah.
But what I want to talk about and what we are here to celebrate is the women of this movie. I'm going to make it very clear. I have a lot of love and affection for this movie, but some things that I might say might contradict myself. So
It's not a perfect film. You can
No.
love it and it not be a perfect film. That's okay.
Very much.
it's more to do with Ray for me
Oh.
than anything else. Yeah. Kicking off with Ray.
Yeah.
I have alternative castings.
Oh, bold. I
actually
like Daisy. I think she's sweet.
Well, the first one who they really wanted was Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh.
But she was in the process of going through her audition for Scarlet Witch, and she was like, don't really want to drop out because it would have meant dropping out of that to start the process of auditioning for this. And she was nearly towards the end, and then obviously Age of Ultron comes out at the same year as this.
Yeah.
So there was Elizabeth Olsen. I would not have been happy with this, even though I liked her, but I wouldn't be happy with this one. Is Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah, no.
I don't. Also controversial. I can't. Like, I like Elizabeth Olsen. I can't see her in a Star Wars film.
No,
I feel
I
like
don't.
it'd be
No.
weird. And if I can see her doing like the Sith bounty hunter type character
Yes.
rather than like the Jedi.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I think there is a like, especially if you're coming in as the like Jedi hero, there's got to be like a level of innocence,
Yeah.
like, that is like genuine. And I feel like Elizabeth Olsen's too savvy for me to be a Jedi.
Yeah, I
casting.
totally agree. There's two of the names I don't actually recognize: Isa Gonzalez and Charlena Woodley.
Don't know
I
those.
don't recognize them two at all. But if Jennifer Lawrence was in this movie, it would have been a lot of dumb expressions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love her as Katniss. Like, I do,
know what
I
you mean,
do.
yeah.
But she does have dumb face, resting dumb face.
Yeah, I kind of love her for the resting dumb face.
It works in the Hunger
but
Games.
Again, I can't see her being cast as a Jedi again.
No, and to go on to have that storyline, she couldn't carry it. And Daisy's kind of, and as much as I have my issues with Rey as a character, I don't have my issues with Daisy Ridley as an actress.
I think she's great, and I kind of liked the she's a touch butch in this.
Yeah.
And I actually really loved that because I was like, of course she is. She's been surviving on her own on a planet that is like where you have to be like tough.
Yeah.
It's like scraping a living since she was a child by herself. Of course she's like hard, and
this is something
she's not there's no softness to her at all.
I really focused on her performance, and her as a character today, because I wanted to. I have this in my head that it's very, and I don't like using this term, and I'm so sorry, but Mary Sue.
Yep.
There is a few moments in there that can kind of spark that. So I was like, I'm gonna have a look at her taking that element out of it. And you're right, she would need to be as tough as nails. Like, she is dealing with some of like the scummy of the scum, and she would have to be tough. But there's certain aspects to her character that when she's running and Finn grabs her hand, instead of saying, "Get off my hand," just yank him away. Don't say anything. Yank him away or push him.
That there's there are some lines that don't feel like natural. I like agree completely, and there are moments. For me, it's the moments of early interaction between her and Kylo Ren are just really uncomfortable.
So,
the moments to start 1,000 fanfics.
yeah. There is that, but it's just like to start with, it's just a bit like, and I think maybe it's worse knowing where it's going.
Yeah.
Because before I can't remember being like, oh, this is actually like horribly toxic, and I'm not sure I like this.
Yeah, a bit irksome.
But I didn't mind the telling Finn to don't touch me. That I felt was relatable.
I wish he didn't tell him though. This
Yeah.
is the thing that this is what I don't get. Like don't tell people that this woman is strong. Just show it in her actions.
She has so many moments where she could, like, that is shown because she's climbing up the inside of whatever that elevator shaft, massive Starkiller base. Like, there's always a massive. Why is there always a massive chute in these like Imperial
It wouldn't
bases?
be Star Wars if there wasn't a massive.
Yeah. That's part of it. There just has to be some sort of tunnel, like vertical tunnel. I don't know what the right word is.
It's close enough.
But yeah, and there's like moments, where she's fighting Kylo Ren. I love the lightsaber battle at the end. And you've got that's why you come to Star Wars, is for a really decent lightsaber battle.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
Oh no, I was going to say, for me, one of the things that I hated when I first saw it, and I still hate now, and I love this film, but it's Kylo Ren's lightsaber design. It's just so, I hate it.
Impractical.
It's so impractical. Like, he would have burns, or like he'd be losing fingers left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, what's going on there?
Especially with the tantrums that he has. Like, I'm surprised that he actually has any fingers and thumbs left.
Yeah.
It was designed purely for the toys they could have made out of it.
100%. 100%. And also, I think they were like, this is what the boys like. We've got a girl Jedi, so we have to really go in and like appeal to the boys. And it's like, oh, I don't know if you've hit the nail on the head there.
It's the only saber as well that burns, that crackles.
Yeah.
That shows a shaken effect because it mirrors his rage.
Yeah.
So, and I like that aspect of it. But yeah, it's aesthetically it doesn't look too bad, but practically in a fight it looks like it would, especially the bottom parts, like they would get in the way of him, not somebody else.
Yeah. It's something that designed to make his life harder, which seems bad choice for weapon. I don't mind the look of it, and this is where I get really nerdy. It's the lore behind that, like, why is it crackling? Because that's probably a sign of a badly made lightsaber if it's
100% without a doubt.
Really?
So you could, like, it shouldn't do that. Like, the reason it's red is because they're artificial kyber crystals, because the Sith aren't allowed, like, they don't have access to the pure Jedi. So they have
the tainted version.
Yeah, so the red is the synthetic. And then I'm like, the only reason that your lightsaber would crackle like that is because it's broken. So what's he done? Like, is he like what I imagine has happened is he's been sitting there going, I'm going to show Granddad I'll be just like Darth Vader. And he's in his bedroom, like, modifying his lightsaber. This will look cool. I think more shafts.
That is 100% my headcanon. That's 100%.
And that's like, and ever since I've seen it, I thought, oh, that's what this feels like. It's like, oh, I'm going to dress like Granddad.
Yeah.
Weird.
I've got to say, mate, I do love the aesthetic. I do love the mask. I do love the clothes.
The mask, I love the mask.
Yeah, I'm very much for it. Every one of your main cast, your 3 main cast, are all masked before they are seen.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Rey has one, Finn has one, and Kylo has one.
So here's a question. What did you think about Kylo being unmasked during the film? Because often the baddies in Star Wars don't get unmasked until right at the end. If you were gonna
follow in Grandfather's footsteps, you keep that badass on.
Yeah, and also so much creepier with it on. The minute you see his face, I feel like he loses some of his intimidation Because it's
Especially
lovely Adam Driver.
and that cuteness of him. Like, he's so adorable.
He's so lovely. And also, like, I'd only ever seen him in Girls before this, so I was like fully in love with him already.
Yeah. I remember
I
him from
don't remember
Girls.
seeing him in anything before this.
Oh, he's so good as
But
Lena
then again,
Dunham's.
2015 was when I was just coming off ships. I'd only been home like a year properly, so I hadn't caught up in like 4 years
Yeah.
worth of television. So
This is your introduction to pop culture again.
to be fair, it pretty much is, yeah.
Just reintroductory. That's class. He's also really good in Black Klansman.
Yeah,
That
very
film.
funny. Very, very funny film.
But I love how he has such a sense of humor when it comes to the Star Wars franchise. Like, his SNL sketches have been some of the
Matt the
funniest.
radar technician. I love it.
Did you not see his opening monologue where he attacks the nerds? But he's like trying to come across as cool. Like, I'm cool, I'm approachable, I'm a really nice guy. Like,
Yeah. I love him.
but he's such a force as well. Like, literally, like, and I'm using that word quite a lot in this episode. But he is such a force of
Appropriate.
presence.
Yeah.
He's a presence though. So
Yeah.
to take the mask off, you're absolutely right. It kind of like, oh, could we not have waited until later?
Yeah, he also does something interesting with his voice. Whenever he's unmasked, what I noticed is up until the final lightsaber battle, he's very softly spoken. It's not until he kills his dad that you ever really hear him raise his voice without the mask on. And again, I don't know if that's like a deliberate choice or not, because it feels like there are two Kylo Rens. You get the Kylo Ren with the mask, and you get the Ben Solo, like, damaged child who is putting on the mask as well. So, and if that's a conscious choice, it's very cool. If it's just a happy accident, it's an odd choice, but I'm here for it. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm just thinking? Doing like a little thing in my brain. What would have been a perfect opportunity to keep him completely masked the entire 3 movies, but at the end, you know, when he takes on the Knights of Ren,
That would be that would have been such an epic unmasking moment, because it's truly the final betrayal and the final, like, changing sides. Yeah.
Showing them he literally is, you know, taking off the costume, because to him, if he is completely idolizing his grandfather, he's doing it from an aesthetic point of view. Like, the look and everything. So to completely do like disrobe at that point, that would have been so
it would have been powerful. I agree 100%. It would have been powerful. Yeah, and there's part of me that's like, oh, maybe it's a missed opportunity to, like, for him to have taken his mask, because he takes it off really quickly.
Yeah.
But
I
someone's
think,
like, why don't you take off your mask then? And he's like, okay.
Well, why don't I just do it?
but I think it's a choice of the actor that they chose. They wanted to show him off purposely. I think
that's a good point.
Kind of that's why I think he does take the mask off, because obviously Vader doesn't take it off, because I don't think they really kind of have.
Well, they have 2 different actors for Vader. You have the Vader in the costume and the voice. Which is James
so I think
L. Jones.
it's a bit of a complicated one, because I don't actually have a problem with him being unmasked. I've got to admit, I don't actually mind that choice they made. But
and you're right. If we're going to look at him, let's look at Adam Driver.
Yeah, if you've got him cast, but I didn't really think of it until right this moment, and then it seems like it's such a missed opportunity to kind of enforce, you know, the character, the person he's trying to be.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sorry, no, carry on.
Go on.
I was going to segue into something completely different, which is
go on. Yeah, I was going to try and do the same. You do yours.
Really, because I was thinking, really, the only person who doesn't.
Christie, that woman literally can do no wrong in my eye. I was so happy after this movie, because we didn't just get the typical Rey merchandise, Kylo merchandise. We got Phasma merchandise, and did I stock up hard?
Also, so cool, that shiny stormtrooper vibe. So cool, love it.
But such a wasted character in the end. Like, in this part, in here, I'm totally fine with it. And she has one of my favorite moments when they're talking about, is there a trash compactor? And she almost does, like, you know, when a dog looks at you and tilts its head, she almost does that. What?
I think it's a real achievement to be able to make a trooper helmet expressionful.
Yeah.
Like, she really emotes
Yeah.
through the armor, and I'm here for it.
She's a bit of a grass as well, really, isn't she? Like,
Yeah.
proper grass fin up straight away.
Yeah.
Um,
They're
before
not
we-
trained for loyalty, except for they are, but not that kind of loyalty.
No. I actually, I was meant to say this before we segued. I actually have the there's only one other person that was considered for Kylo Ren.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know how I feel about this name because I think it would have totally changed the tone. That you wouldn't, because the cast, I feel the cast works because they're all around the same age group. This would have completely changed that dynamic. Michael Fassbender.
Oh no, I'm not into it.
Oh no.
I could see him as the what's his face, the Starkiller base general, who's played by one of the Weasleys. What's his name?
Oh, Hux.
Hux. Yeah.
Hux.
General Hux. I could 100% see Michael Fassbender doing that role. Very much
No.
so.
No.
I
You're
love
not
Domhnall
into it.
Gleeson in this mind. I love him in this movie.
He's such a Weasley rat man. He's really good.
he yeah, he looks fantastic. Like,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
know his uniform is heavily influenced on a design, but it works. And that speech
Good
that he
old
gives,
fashioned Roman.
yeah, and that speech he gives, it's very dictatorship-ishly
Yeah.
done. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was a good choice. I forgot he
I
was a
love
Weasley.
the tug of war between him and Kylo Ren as well throughout all of these films. That kind of like jostling for power that they do. So good.
Yeah, because let's be honest, Hux had none.
Oh, very surface. Well, I mean, the Empire, it's like, yes, there are other people in the Empire who have some power, but it is a Sith. It's a Sith thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you're gonna get overruled by them regardless.
Yeah. If you have a problem with that, go join the Republic.
Yeah, exactly.
There you'll get a vote.
Maybe.
Maybe.
The Michael Fassbender one, it wouldn't.
It'd
I
make
think
it
it would
even
have worked if the
creepier.
cast was different and older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I can't see it at all with the characters and the ages that we've got. It just wouldn't work. It would be really creepy. No.
Yeah.
I'm creeped out just thinking
Force
about
Daddy.
it.
I don't want those vibes.
Yeah, no.
And you're
What was I
trying to
gonna say?
convince me that that's Harrison Ford's son.
Yeah.
Almost looks about the same age as him,
No.
even though he doesn't at all. It is not. But I think they did well with Adam Driver. It's like, again, aesthetically, he looks the shits. He looks the part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel this isn't his best film in this trilogy for me. I feel like he, with each film, he gets better and better. And by the end you're like, no one else could be you. No one else could be Kylo Ren.
I was so looking forward to him taking on the Knights of Ren until he did the whole come on. Like, he did the whole come and get us. I was like, oh, stop.
I know, but there's a scene in that final bit where he's like running, and he's just like running and just shooting someone, like, and he's just so actiony. And in that moment, I think I've watched that clip like quite a lot, because he's just like it feels a bit Bourne Identity almost. It's like quite, I remember being
the
like,
vibe.
oh, yeah. Come rescue me.
Just want to go back to Rey for a second.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to work through my problems with her, because I did kind of agree with my husband with the whole she's a baby Jedi, she shouldn't be able to do all of this. But there is some moments in there where you can see things are starting to unlock and to open up, and the Force is awakening in her, and you see them kind of moments. I just think we saw it a little bit too soon, especially when she's sitting in the chair and she does the Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
That was way too soon. She shouldn't have been able to figure out that she knew she could do that. Do you agree? Or
yeah,
do you
100%.
Yeah, I do and I don't. So I think that, so there's something I really like, is that she starts to unlock things really quickly because she's following Kylo Ren's lead. So it's not until she has the Force used on her that she starts to understand it herself. So there's something about her being exposed to the Force, that it feels like that's exactly the right time for her to start to unlock things. What I would have liked to have seen is for her to witness Kylo Ren doing that.
Yeah.
And then that would have been believable to me, because it's like, oh, she's figured out how to do that. The thing I don't like is her, like, when she reunites with Finn, he's like, how did you get here? And she's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like, no. That's the wrong vibe. Like, the vibe should be, oh fuck, I think I'm a Jedi. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because it makes her feel a bit dumb, and I don't think it doesn't match the rest of her character. So
No.
I think if you're gonna have that awakening, like, let's make it a really conscious character.
Exactly.
Moment.
She's been with him. Like, this is the first person she's probably spoke to properly in God knows how long. She has such a, and I love the connection between them two. I love how instantly they are, you know, kind of bonded together, especially when she gets taken away by Kylo, and you see him. That's a guttural scream coming from him trying to get to her. So there is, and I like that element, because of course he knows only what he is being brought into and brought up with. She knows nobody.
Yeah.
So I get that connection straight away. I get how they kind of like bonded together. Don't keep secrets from him.
Yeah. It was the wrong move. 100%
She
the wrong
doesn't
move.
throughout though. She tells
No.
him jack shit.
Yeah. But that is where she then leads very much into the Mary Sue aspect. And that's why I have problems with this character, because she is that. She thinks she can take on the world by herself. Yeah. And there are other characters around that can offer points of view or assist or things like that. And yeah, it's one of the things that I really can't stand about this film. Yeah. Though I love the film, is moments like this where
it's moments where it undermines her character strength.
Yeah.
And also Star Wars is best when it's an ensemble cast, right?
Precisely.
Like, that's what you want to see, like the plucky.
Yeah. We want a team
plucky
up.
rebels
we want
taking on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. We don't need like a solo, like someone. Gotta be careful with my words, just so I don't mix up my people.
Solo and solo.
Solo. But I like the idea of it being like a close knit thing. Like, I always thought Star Wars was like growing up and see, you know, these were all together, and she wants to separate herself from it so badly, because you're right, Rebecca, she does feel like she can take on the world by herself. But you know, it's fine to have the strength that you do as a woman, but also have the relationship you like, the what's what I'm looking for. I had this all mapped out great in my head a second ago, but have that kind of like relationship with a man that it does work. Like, you can have that power dynamic shared between the two.
Yeah, you can become a team. You don't have to do everything solo.
That's what I'm trying to say. Jesus. Yeah,
and we can have more than just a droid as a friend. Although BB-8 is adorable, and
Jesus,
jump in front of multiple bullets for him.
I literally I own so much BB-8. So when it comes to Star Wars, droids are my thing. Like, I love the droids, and I have a multitude of BB-8s, but my favorite one is my Roland one. That literally roll. He's got a magnetic head, and he rolls across the floor. My cats hate him, and to this day, I have had him since 2015. 2015, and his battery still works. He sits in the corner of my room, and if you knock him, he just goes.
I think it might have been Paul, asks in the comments, do you have more of this merch than Jar Jar Binks merch?
Nope. That's really sad affair. Nope. I actually have more Jar Jar now. If you'd asked me this beginning of last year, before, you know, I bought me big Jar Jar and, you know, the other Jar Jar stuff, that I probably would have had more, but no, I've got more Jar Jar. And Paul is right. The point I was trying to get at is the dynamic between me and Paul is like how you could have it, because he says me and Sammy have that power. We do.
It's the comment. It was the comment underneath by Lee saying that he's bullied in the ensemble. That's what I was giggling at.
When do I bully Lee?
Precisely. Lee lives in an alternate universe, I swear, because he denies that he wanders off at cons. He wanders off at cons.
Are you kidding me? I was at a horror convention when he did a disappearing act.
he doesn't
Has he
remember
been doing the
this.
French exit where he just like goes for a cigarette?
No, he just disappears.
No, he just walks away, babes. He just literally gets up and walks away. But he's so fast. You're like, whoa, well, where did he
We're
go?
putting a balloon
Maybe
on
he's
him.
like embodying Rey. That's her whole vibe too.
Wow, yeah.
Just says goodbye while you're asleep.
I'm sorry. I don't understand this whole bullying Lee aspect.
We need an explanation.
Let's
Lee.
gang up on him now and prove him wrong.
Have you punched me? I'm all right. Are you kidding me, Lee?
Character assassination right now, live with
I think
Nerdy
find
Up
it's the other
North.
way around, but okay.
We're going to be having words after, I think, with Lee.
Not allowed on in podcast, mate. I'm not getting rid of you in Action Month, am I? You got me there the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeesh. Yeah, so I really wish that scene was, because what's so great is the scene when she does pick the lightsaber up. Now imagine if you didn't have that before, and then you get her picking the lightsaber up when you think it's Ren who's going to get it, and it's like, oh shit, bitch, got it.
Yeah, I
Like,
love that.
that makes that so much better. And I was so disappointed today when I was rewatching it. I was like, that's a goosebumps moment scene
Yeah.
there. But it is completely spoiled by the fact that she's already got some Force Awakening, some Force senses are kicking
Yeah.
in.
There's also part of me, so like there's the whole thing about with her merch of like the Where's Rey, in that merch executives didn't think little boys would want to buy Rey action figures, so they just didn't make enough, so they then had to do
That's
like
sad.
late runs. And there's part of me that wonders if one of the struggles with her character, particularly in this film, is like, what were the conversations going on behind the scenes about like, how can we make this character strong? Like sometimes it feels like they're trying too hard to make her look powerful and cool.
Yeah.
And if they had just like trusted that this character will land and that people will accept a female Jedi, and maybe that maybe like some of the kind of challenges that you find with her like awakening would be less there, because it would feel less forced, less like rushed.
I completely agree with what you've literally said there. They did not put enough trust in Daisy to be able to carry the character, and because of that we look at her so differently, because she does start to prove herself in the second and third one, but because of this one we're not kind of giving her a chance. Sorry, I'm gonna have to put a log on my fire every 2 seconds.
No bother. But in the,
keep
I
talking.
find that we'll keep talking, don't worry. So yeah, I find that it's really interesting with Daisy, because I saw an interview, I think today, because I was looking at different actors and actresses, and she talks about a moment when she's starting to film The Force Awakens, and she is told off on her first day by the director for being too wooden. And I just wonder if that is affected like the performance all the way through until we've got further in the film and she's actually gained more confidence.
Yeah, and maybe built a better relationship with the production crew as well.
Yeah.
It's like that would shake anyone's like your first day of work, no matter what industry you're in. Your first day of work, someone says, I don't like the way that you're showing up right now. You'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes me think, oh well, that's how Disney felt towards this actress. No wonder why where's Rey? No wonder why that's how it went.
If they thought actually she's not going to be that popular, we'll lean into the BB-8, we'll lean into the Porgs.
I feel bad now
in the second film,
because I bought a load of Porg stuff as well.
When I saw the Porgs, I'd been away from this is really tragic of what I'm about to say. I'd been away from Eddie for about a week and I went to the cinema with my dad, and the Porgs came on with their big dark eyes. I looked at them and I thought, oh my god, that's Eddie, and I just started bawling in the cinema.
Oh, sweet girl.
And my dad was like, are you crying because they're so cute? And I was like, yeah, and he was like, oh.
I actually have my very own living, breathing Babu Fink, who is sat right behind me. He's fast asleep and I am not going to wake him. I am not opening that door up.
Don't you dare.
But yeah, he is a living, breathing Babu Fink. He's a Shih Tzu, but he's got the face of a Pekingese.
Yeah.
So my mum was
living his
very
best tiny
displeased with
lion life. Isn't that what Shih Tzu means? Lion, little lion.
Little what?
Little lion. Shih Tzu. I think that's what they were like imperial. They're an imperial breed. So they're
Oh
like
yes.
little
Do you know?
lions.
I'm sitting looking at you, gormless. I actually.
I was starting to think, am I talking French?
No, no. Behind us is kind of a little pet cemetery, because all of my animals are buried in this back garden behind us, and we had 2 Shih Tzus, Jack and Sally, and they are guarded by 2 imperial dogs statues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
So
loving Jack and Sally as two
Yeah.
little, that's too much.
I'm sorry, they're no longer here anymore. Well, they are
But
behind
they're
me.
buried together, and that's what matters.
Yeah, and they
That's-
have where they're buried. They have 2 imperial dogs sitting on top of them to kind of protect them. Yeah, it's like pet cemetery in here. It's ridiculous.
I'm
That's
here
adorable.
for that. Yeah.
That's why my parents can't move. That's why this house has to be with us. Can't believe I've
Bless
just
you.
put that on here.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be like
Um,
when you have to declare if a human died, it'll be like, well, let me tell you
Well.
about the Shih Tzus. In the
There's a
garden.
hamster somewhere.
Yeah.
I know he's not a female character, but I do want to talk about Max von Sydow for a second.
Oh, I'm here for that.
Oh, why did they? I understand the character, but I'm like, why kill him so soon? Damn you!
Brutally as well.
Do you know who was meant to play that part?
Who?
And this isn't the first time that he's knocked back a Star Wars role. Is Gary Oldman.
Oh.
Yeah, Gary Oldman was meant to play Lord Santeca, but he turned it down. He was actually also considered as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the
original
prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were actually going to change character. They were going to make him a little bit older for
Yeah.
Phantom Menace. So they were going to change from Ewan McGregor, who's literally just done 2 movies as this character and really established himself, and then put Gary Oldman in at the end. Even Gary Oldman went, no.
I also think Ewan McGregor does a fantastic Alec Guinness. Like,
Hello there.
So good.
I can't imagine anyone else in that role.
No, and I love actors who not only take the job seriously but have respect for it as well. And he really does have so much respect for the character, for the franchise, for the fans.
And for the original performance. Like, he spent hours and hours like watching Guinness's like body language and like subconscious tics so that he could then introduce it into his own performance. Gorgeous. I think Gary Oldman would do a great job in a Star Wars film, but I have yet to see a character where I'm like, that should be all Oldman.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to mention Max von Sydow because I absolutely adore that man so much, and it's so hilarious that is his real face, and the one in The Exorcist matches that.
Oh, now I can't
really
see
confuse
that.
someone if they didn't know. Have you forever been old?
Unsee
it. Also, I've just noticed something at the corner of my eye. Rey's outfit. Now, this is what I was referring to. The level of detail that JJ has gone into. Rey's outfit is actually inspired by the original drawings that was going to go into Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker was going to be a woman.
Yeah. That was going to be my fact.
Oh, gorgeous.
Oh, I'm so sorry, my love.
Okay.
I just caught it out the corner of
my
my eye.
Do you want us to pretend we didn't
No,
hear
not
it?
at all.
And you
No.
can do it? Okay.
I was sharing the love.
Repeated, it didn't happen. Rewind.
That's what it's all about. I love the fact that someone else knows that fact as well. Because you can see it though in the vibe of the outfit. If you watch like the first film back, or you can see that kind of vibe around it.
The colours. The only thing I think that's different is the fact that it's sleeveless, and maybe have a sash across. I'm trying to like picture Rey in my head right now, but the color of it, the fabric of it, is all matching Luke's look like fashionista in New Hope.
Yeah, I can see that. I also kind of love that they've gone back to the original drawings, because George Lucas had like crazy layers of development when it came to like designing some of the iconic
like
the Boba Fett helmet was in like, that was originally going to be a stormtrooper helmet that then never made it into production. So when they had Boba Fett as a character later in the prequels, he was like, okay, I've got the right helmet, let's work on the colors and things. So he like holds on to those designs for years and years.
I find that the Star Wars lore and the process that George Lucas goes for, it's like an onion. He has like layers and layers and layers until he gets to the center. I find it really fascinating as someone who's created like their own worlds and things like that. I find it really fascinating what he does and how deep he's gone.
He's an amazing world builder. I don't necessarily think he's the best plot holder.
No,
I think other people, when they input into his world, create a fantastic stories. But he can be led astray easily.
Oh, absolutely. But world building, he's got it down. And I'm like Becca, I find it so fascinating. Like the idea of Tolkien and George R. R. Martin, who have created complete worlds, universes, races, species, and know it to such a detail that. But yeah, you're right. He's got it all. It's just like, I don't know what to do with any of this.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think, because I was thinking like, in terms of storytelling media, Star Wars it's had books, it's had comics, it's had animation, it's had films, it's had TV series, and it's had video games. I was trying to think, is there a single, it's had live shows as well. They've done live shows, musicals. Like
Christmas special.
Christmas special. Is there any like storytelling media that Star Wars hasn't done? Like, I think it's been told in like every format, and there are very few. I was trying to think of other franchises that could match that, and I was thinking even Marvel, like, I don't think has that same breadth of.
No, because you've literally got comic movie. Comic movie. That's it.
Yeah. And a little bit. They have some games, but like they tend to do like the fighting. It's more fighting based games than it is like story, big epic story games like you get with like Knights of the Old Republic and stuff.
I never played Knights of the Old Republic, but I did play the most recent one.
Yeah. I haven't played that yet, but I've been watching a lot of YouTubers play through it.
The ending of it is like, I've never, even The Last of Us didn't get us like this, and The Last of Us like scarred me for a very long time. It was more of the they just went there. They've literally I can't believe they just went there. And my reaction matched up people's reactions. What you've got to play it in order to get to that part, because I can't tell you it. I just can't.
Yeah.
But when you do play it, go back and watch other people's reactions to it, because it is brilliant.
I had that with Knights of the Old Republic as well, and then bits of Knights of the Old Republic show up in the Star Wars The Old Republic, like the big MMO. You end up getting bits of Knights in there, and you're like, oh, like it's very self-referential. And it's the same with this film. Like when you know the hunk of junk that they find on the planet happens to be the Millennium Falcon, and you like it. I think Star Wars likes to reward its fans for showing up.
and the fact that it was they rebuilt the Millennium Falcon for people to be able to walk on. One such person was superfan Kevin Smith, who was the only. So they had a lot of people come to set.
Yeah,
they had a lot of people come to visit set, because this was huge, and this is back in Pinewood Studios, and this is like, it's monumental. So a lot of people came to come and visit.
Yeah,
Kevin Smith was the only person who had to sign a non-disclosure act because of how loose lips. And JJ had posters all over the place saying "loose lips sink starships," and basically aiming it at Kevin, like, to shut your mouth. And the only thing he ever said was that he cried when he was on the Millennium Falcon.
I think I would.
I would.
My sibling is in Andor as a random extra, and even all the extras have to sign NDAs. You have to hand your phone in when you enter the studios first thing, and everything's done in code words. So they don't refer to what part of the franchise you're working on by name. So for Andor, everything was capital cities. So all they knew was that it was capital cities. And I was like, well, it has to be on Coruscant. At some point, it's got to be in the capital of the Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Obviously, when they told me later, please don't sue me, Disney. They
don't
didn't
come for
break,
us, Mouse.
they didn't break their NDA at all.
I think they're fine, given that the first series is now out.
It's
done.
out.
We're on to the second.
They've been
We're
there.
good.
They were on screen for all of like 2 seconds from behind. They had their moment.
Do you know what the working title was for this one?
Ooh.
Shadow of the Empire.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna give something a working title, like make it funny. Like,
Yeah.
don't make it something that you could actually use.
Yeah. Also, I feel like that's Kylo Ren's like in his head, he's in his own film and he's named it Shadow of the Empire.
It's his fan
in
fiction.
his bedroom when he's modding his lightsaber.
This
I
is my
can't wait.
moment.
This is going to be my autobiography. Kylo Ren, Shadow of the Empire.
Oh,
My love story to my granddad.
love story.
Dear
Okay,
Darth
you got
Vader.
me. You
Day
got
one.
me. Part one.
Part one. Today, I told Hux where to go. I think he fancies us. I didn't. Paul's just accused me of going it all in with the innuendos, and half the time I don't even know I'm doing it. So I'd like to apologise now. Sometimes it just comes out.
Oh, I love that. Oh gosh. Another famous person who came to set was Benedict Cumberbatch.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cameos by people. Mainly JJ's friends. And the composer, he was actually in the movie as well. But the big cameo, and we've already spoke about this scene, was Rey and the Stormtrooper, which is Daniel Craig.
Gorgeous.
Didn't care then, didn't care now.
No, not even bothered.
Also, I feel like it's the funniest thing to have a cameo where you don't take off your helmet.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, prove it, Craig. I don't believe you.
It literally makes no difference.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's I don't. Even now, I'm still like confused why they bothered even admitting that.
Yeah.
Like
who gives a shit if Bond's in there? Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because I'm not a Bond fan or like. Don't get us wrong, Daniel Craig has proven, recently that he's more than just Bond.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, he's great. I mean, like our friends in the North, which was my only exposure to the North until I met you guys.
Oh my gosh.
That's not true. I had travelled past Birmingham.
Liverpool.
To Liverpool.
That is not the North.
It is to me.
Look, the furthest north I'd ever been until I moved up here was Birmingham, so
Oh.
I think, well, this is Chris says that the North-South divide is the time. I think it's Birmingham. I think it is
because we get
M6.
quite defensive when the likes of like people from Liverpool and Manchester start saying the Northern, and it's like, no, you're not.
Definitely not Southern.
Midlands.
Nobody wants them. Leave them
Midlands
on the border.
can have them.
You can just stay there. Oh, bless them. Anything below York is the South. Absolutely, I agree. I agree.
Oh.
Comment.
Well, you can't use both Southerners, so.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. There was something else I was going to mention. Yes, but to do with Kevin Smith. So again, another layer of JJ being, the person that he is. He actually puts a little tribute to Kevin Smith in this movie, and it's the track compactor scene, because it's the conversation that they're having in Clerks. It's all about the bin disposal waste people. Yes, and that was a little nod to Kevin. And that must have absolutely made his life like that. That would have, if he went the next day, that was it. He would have been totally happy that something from his first movie gets reference in Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's a moment.
Good.
There was also a real. I'm going to try and get my notes out of the way with. I'm sick of tilting my head now. There was a real life fanboy moment in this. If you've seen the movie Fanboys, it's about a group of friends who storm the Skywalker Ranch to be able to see Phantom Menace before their friend who's got cancer dies.
I haven't seen that.
We did it on the charity stream as well. It was my choice. It was the last movie because I thought it was just like it's fanboys. It's the epitome of like fandom.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Mark Hamill and John Boyega lobbied to J.J. Abrams to get big massive Star Wars fan Daniel Fleetwood able to see the film because he had terminal cancer. And he was shown the film on the release date was the 15th of December 2015, and he saw it a few days beforehand and died on November 10th, 2015. So he got to see A Force Awakens, so a real life fanboy moment by John Boyega and Mark Hamill to get this guy to be able to see it.
Yeah. This is I just love it's. Have you seen on Netflix the documentary about I forget what it's called now, but they're called like. They're people who dress up as troopers and go around to like kids' hospitals and stuff.
I know what
you
you
like
right.
charity fundraising and things. And it's that power of like fandom and nerdiness that brings us together in a really beautiful, positive way.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons I really like your disclaimer, because it's like, oh no, let's just remember like what we're here to do, which is to just like come together and enjoy something. Yeah. And I feel like Star Wars has like a very activated positive fandom in a lot of ways. But I highly recommend that film. I can't remember what it's called. It's like if you search Star Wars in Netflix, it'll pop
I think
up.
I know what you mean. My sister said she watched it and she was actually inconsolable.
Yeah, I had to stop watching it because
Oh,
I cry at a drop of a hat with things like that.
sure, it made me cry.
Man.
It's definitely a Sunday afternoon, like if you want to wallow in it.
Look, I cried at Moana 2 this afternoon, okay? So, I will cry at anything.
No spoilers, I'm excited.
Are we trying to see who can outcry each other? Because I will win.
Just show me a porg. Bring it on.
Okay, Beeves wins. Beeves wins with that
I love
one.
how you looked over your shoulder, Becca, as if you were about to reach for a porg. If you had, I'd have lost it.
There's actually nothing Star Wars connected anywhere in reach today. There's
No,
Power
me
Rangers
neither.
and there's X-Men. I'm not able to reach for any surprises.
Me neither. I'm at my parents' house. Otherwise, I would have shown you my Ray Barbie doll.
Oh, yes.
It's the first Barbie I ever owned.
I was
Yeah.
a Barbie girl as a kid.
No, my sister was. I wasn't. I've never owned a Barbie doll.
Oh.
I've owned a Mark own doll. My take that days.
Ooh.
No. Can't believe I just admitted that one.
That's
okay.
okay.
Yeah, I've
Out
got
of all the take,
Yeah.
not so cutesy.
Michaela had the Spice Girls. I think she had Ginger Spice.
Yeah, I had an Emma Bunton. Baby
That was
Spice.
incredibly inappropriate for a kid.
And imagine that it was.
It was the Union Jack dress.
Yep.
Made by her mum. That
But
iconic
still.
thing. Made by her mum from an actual Union Jack.
Yeah.
As a Halloween costume. Ended
Honestly,
up being
it's-
like one of the most iconic
It
costumes.
is iconic.
It is.
Pop costumes of Britpop in the 90s.
Yes.
Wild
So
to me.
iconic.
When you think
But-
of Britpop, that is what you think of.
Yeah, instantly. Is Jerry with them boots, that dress, that hair. Absolutely.
Also, why are mumagers always putting it's like when Beyonce's mum dresses Destiny's Child in like teeny tiny camo. Like, why are mums always doing that to their kids in the 90s?
Yeah, I don't know.
No idea.
No.
No idea.
Anyway.
I have a Ray, I have a Leia, I've got Jenna, so and I think that might be it. But Ahsoka is phenomenally expert. It's the Force of Destiny dolls. I call them a Barbie doll, but it's closest thing I've ever had to a Barbie.
Yeah. They're 1/16th scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Ahsoka Tano is she's ridiculous. Like I got them for next to nothing. Like less than a tenner for one of them at least. And yeah, Ahsoka is, and you also for some reason in the Force of Destiny's line, you also get Chewie.
Oh.
So you get the women, which is great, fantastic, wonderful. And then you got Chewie.
He's an ally.
Aye. It's the only way I could describe it.
Yeah, I was like, that's not a weird I mean, at least it wasn't like someone like, you know, Kylo or
Yeah. If it had been Han Solo, I'd have walked out.
I'm gone. Another layer to this, this absolute blanket of love that JJ has poured into this movie is the design of BB-8.
Yeah. So cute.
BB-8's original concept art comes from R2-D2's original concept art.
And that
I
makes
feel like
the
I'm just like
moment where
totally
they like
taking
connect at
Becca's
the end.
notes because she
It's
just
okay.
keeps nodding, and I'm like just shitting all over everything that she's looked into today.
It's okay. But yeah, no, I do. Some of these facts I'm like, but it's okay.
I'm
Great
gonna
minds
stop
think
now.
alike. Great minds think alike, and 100%.
stop
I
now.
don't know.
Well, his name comes because he looks like a B and an 8.
Oh. And he's a baby.
I love that he becomes friends with R2 though.
Yeah, that moment at the end, and also it feels like in the original Star Wars, the droids always come in and unlock. They give you the MacGuffin. They unlock the thing that the hero needs. So having BB-8 do that with R2 at the end of this film,
Yeah,
just feels like coming home.
yeah.
So
It's
good.
but I hate C-3PO. It's the one
Oh,
droid I can't get
I
behind.
love him. He's a gay icon.
I can't get behind. So they don't really explain the red arm.
No.
So I was at Star Wars Celebration Europe in 2016, and I got to sit and watch Anthony Daniels explain the red arm by reading us a comic book on why C-3PO had said red arm. I was bored out my fuck. I was just, give us the book here. I'll read it. It's fine. I don't need you to go through it. He is the creep of all creepness, mind. He was so creepy at his panel. It was
Really? Creepy in what way?
Oh, he had kids on stage and he was being like really weird with them, like just the way he was talking
Ooh.
to them, and it was almost like very condescending to them. But like I was
Well,
like, it's like
maybe I
he's being
don't want him as a
nice.
gay icon anymore.
And then you've got like Warwick Davis behind him trying to like control everything because Warwick was doing the panels that day. Warwick was fantastic, by the way, like absolutely brilliant at doing. We were at that panel because it almost felt like the Saturday was a bit of an afterthought because the Friday was the Rogue One. So it was everything was the Rogue panel was then, and it was the
Yeah.
trailer was then released, and people got these amazing fucking Rogue One posters that they did not have
They blew their
anyone
load
got
on
there
the
on Saturday.
Friday.
And then on the Saturday it's Anthony Daniels, like, and it was also the Star Wars Rebels was there, so like Sam Witwer was there and Dave Filoni.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There, so that was honestly that probably was the highlight. That week, that whole experience was amazing. It was my first ever convention, was Star Wars Celebration in London. I'd never
Wow.
been to a convention beforehand, and we got to see Mark Hamill. So we didn't go and do the meet and greet because it was ridiculously expensive. Like London was already costing us a small fortune to start with.
Yeah, you had to sell your first child just to buy a pint.
That's why I don't have any.
But I had a lovely pint.
I had a great weekend. So we went to a merch stand where his like panels like here, like where he was having his photographs taken, and the merch stand is here. So when you come out, you can see in, and we were like, saw him, there he is. We were okay. We stayed as long as we physically could. We were dying inside because it was just a long day. There was loads of rooms and loads of things to see. And at about 4:30, we bit it and went, we'll go back to the hotel. We hadn't been out of the centre 15 minutes. Mark Hamill comes out of his booth into the main hall and does an impromptu Q&A with the people who have been walking around all day. I could have spit blood.
Typical.
I was like, I don't. At the time, I remember saying, I don't care. I just need to sit down. Like, I don't care. Now looking back, I'm like, I should have endured the pain and
I'm
just
stuck with it.
But it's hard when you're at a convention and it's a London convention. It is hard days.
It's that everything's like, it's so busy. There's like an energy in London where it's like, oh, you really have to brace
It's so
yourself
elevated.
mentally.
Yeah.
And that's like on top of the normal con energy, which is like hyper and overextended and
the convention centre was unreal. Like, it's something I've never been to or experienced
Was it at
since.
the Excel in
Yeah.
Canary Wharf? Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, so it's like
That's
the big
crazy.
tunnel, like,
Wow.
had the best bagel stand ever. I've never had a bagel like it. It was absolutely unreal.
Yeah, they have some good foods. They're
Really good.
Yeah. But it is like a whole nother work, because you feel like you're entering a small village that's been set up just for conventions, which is basically what they've done. Like, from the moment you like walking across the bridge from this train station, you're like, oh my god.
We got an Uber, which might have going there, brilliant idea. Going back, thought I was going to die. Actually text my husband and said, if this is it, I love you. This is where I am. Please make sure I get home. The taxi driver was terrifying. He was dodging traffic. He then decided to, because Carol and my friend had on the map where this driver was meant to be going to, and he's rearing off into the opposite direction. And she was like, nah. She made him pull over, told him, I need you to follow this route.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she actually said, otherwise I'm calling the police.
Good
And I
her.
was like, oh my God, just let me get out of here. I actually said to her, I said, are we near the hotel? And she was like, I said, right, okay, pull over, we're getting out and walking. I can't be in here anymore.
I think it's special kind of crazy driving in London. My sib cycles through central London sometimes, and I'm like, you have a
God, you brave woman.
That's bonkers.
Yeah,
Absolutely
talk about women's strength there. Jesus, not a chance. Not a chance. Just to ask you the question, and I was thinking about this myself earlier. Princess Leia, as you made such a huge impression. That was strong woman, not unapologetic. Didn't have to. She through her actions showed where she gets this strength from. Do you think Rey had the same effect as her? Now, I know we've kind of like dipped into it more, but to compare her to Leia to Rey.
No. And I think it's apples to oranges. So Rey is like plucky orphan who's never had a friend before. Leia is a general. She's a successful, battle-proven general, and she shows up with that energy throughout the whole film. And like, one of the things that sometimes got on my nerves when people were like, "Oh, princess," and like dismiss almost, and it felt like every like powerful woman in the workplace ever. Like, I felt my womb rage a little bit on behalf of Leia at times, because I was like, she is not a princess, she is a general. Show her the due respect she deserves.
Yes,
because I think she fully had that like energy. Did a great job.
I did love it when Max von Sydow did say, I once knew her as princess.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
honouring the journey that she's had from like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope, to I've got this.
And that's 100% why you can't compare them, because Rey is at the start of her journey. You know, General Leia has gone through, 30, how many years is it between the first film and this film?
Yeah, it must be 30 years.
About 30 years?
Yeah.
It's roughly around that. She's gone through a 30-year journey-ish. And you're not able to compare these two characters. And I can remember back in like 2015 being very frustrated at this. And this is possibly why it's taken me so long to watch the next ones, because I was like, I just can't handle the fandom with them comparing it still. It really, really irritated me at the time.
People still asking her to get a gold bikini on. I feel like going, fuck off.
Yeah. 100%.
She's done her time.
Yeah.
Like, let her be a general.
Yeah. Let her wear a bra, god damn it.
Yeah. Let her wear whatever the fuck she wants. If she doesn't want to wear a bra and just wants to show up in like a bathrobe, I'm here for
let
it.
it be her choice. Don't let Lucas be telling her they don't fucking have bras in space.
Yeah.
Makes me so angry.
What a knob. I love though on his roast when Carrie Fisher literally hands him a new one. Like she was so good,
good.
so good. Have you ever seen Carrie Fisher's stand up? Her
No.
one woman show.
No.
Oh,
It is
no, I
available
haven't.
for-
But she has she's a trippy character. Like, her Twitter used to crack me up.
Oh, she was absolutely one in a million. The fact that her ashes were given to her brother in a Xanax style urn is just she was Carrie even right up till the end.
Yeah. Did you know that Paul Simon's song Graceland is written about his
Yeah.
divorce from Carrie
The
Fisher?
only man she ever married.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
beautiful. It's one of my favourite songs of all time.
If
That
you
also makes me cry. That and Porgs.
if I'll try and find the name of her one woman show, it is absolutely brilliant because it is all about her Hollywood life. And she does this
Oh.
amazing connect the dots. Is this person my brother or sister? And she goes through her whole family tree to find they're not. But it's how she does it. She is absolutely phenomenal. She is so honest. And very easy. You just sit there, you just feel so relaxed with her. Even the documentary Bright Lights with that was released just before she died, it was literally done just before she died. She's actually I think she's doing the second film while it's being recorded.
Yeah,
Or
so
she's doing this, I can't remember.
so she passed away during filming the second film because
Yeah.
that was a big thing about them
Yeah.
having to use like
AI and
deep
stock
fakes
footage,
and AIs to like finish her story,
Mhm.
which is wild to me because she gets blown into space. You would have thought they could just rewrite it that she just dies in space, but they don't.
But then you wouldn't have her jetting through space
yeah.
like a
In her own
superhero.
weird Force Awakening moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something for the eyes to kind of like, I need that to settle a bit.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know how to
yeah.
take this.
It felt
Do I like it?
unnecessary.
Why not?
I feel like Leia never needed to be a big force user in order to be powerful. I was like, this feels like a reach. She can do
would have
it
been nice to see Leo. It would have been nice to see Carrie Fisher with a lightsaber, though, to have that moment, to have that saber moment. That would have been unreal.
Yeah.
But
I want to see her force lightning, like
100%.
like in Clone
100%.
Wars.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Whole Sith moment, Carrie Fisher.
Because Leia is more like Vader than the other way
Yeah.
around, you know?
really, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's
for sure.
yeah. That's how they say it, isn't it? That Luke is like his mum and
Padme.
yeah, and Leia is, but it's like Anakin.
Which I can 100%, and also Leah's
Yeah.
like out of the two, between the two of them, probably way more corruptible because she grows up as a literal princess.
Yeah.
Like, so she grows up with all the power in the world.
She's to be honest, she doesn't have the hard choice like Luke has. She's told she's a Jedi. It's like, well, okay, and you're gonna go to the light side. Oh, all right, that's fine. But with him, and I always remember Mark Hamill saying this, that if Vader turned up on his door before Obi-Wan did, he would have been going with Vader. He would have done anything to get off that. So he was at. Oh, I find that quite interesting. Do you know a lot about the not I don't think it's canon anymore, but the canon that was before all this was with the twins and
legends.
whatnot.
Oh yeah.
I've read a couple of the books way
yes.
back.
I don't know. I only know certain things, and that's probably just what my husband tells me.
I also quite like how they do young Princess Leia in Obi-Wan.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that's great. And that has some good droid moments as well.
Yeah. So did you think before Rey was established as a Palpatine,
Yeah.
did you think she was the twin sister to Kylo Ren?
Yeah, for sure. I 100%, and I was really shocked by the Palpatine.
Yeah.
But loved it. I thought it was a great twist. And
I didn't expect it.
No. And I think they do kind of deliberately lead you to feeling like, because there's a whole like particularly her training with Luke, it is deliberately, I think, fatherly, and like him dropping hints about like this kind of idea of her being left and stuff like that, and the fact that her story so closely mirrors Luke's,
Yeah.
and the twins being split up. Yeah, I thought it was great. I did think it was weird that the kind of like, oh, these two families are destined to circle around each other for eternity kind of vibes that it like throws up, but I still don't mind it.
Yeah.
Before we start wrapping this up, just to one, ask Becca if there's anything from her notes that she wants to go over.
It's okay.
Is there anything Sammy didn't say off your
No.
notes?
Sammy has got them all.
Yeah, is there anything I didn't steal from you today?
Yeah.
No, you're good.
I bet you love the fact I'm not a monk anymore.
No.
Get my own stuff.
The instant no. Look at that. Women
Oh,
supporting
yeah.
women. We love
Especially
it.
because, have you not seen our Instagram today?
No, I've been.
Go and have a look. Go and have a look at our TikTok and Instagram.
Oh
Sammy's
my
gonna-
gosh, don't you're gonna make us
Cute.
fucking eat me words, aren't you?
Yeah.
100%.
I look forward to seeing your televised apology next week.
You know how many that I've had to do with that? You know, retractions that I have to make.
I would never make you do that, but yes, you should go check it out, as should everyone else.
It's very heartwarming.
Yes, everyone should, because they've done an absolutely astounding job of not what every single day
Yeah.
bringing you inspirational women. Every single day, you have not missed a day.
We
You
have,
leave
we
amazing.
have, and I'll be honest. The only days that we haven't done it is when we've done it. We've had a full episode.
Could have gotten away with that, Becca.
Yeah, but I'm not going to because that's not what we're about.
Oh, the wonks are honest. Oh God, what does that make me?
This
what
is
does
why
that
the
do
wonk
about
are the
me?
best of us.
Well, yeah. Did you say wonkers are the best?
Wonk are the best of us.
I thought you said
It does sound like
wonker.
wonkers are the best. Kind of into that.
Yes, Paul, Daredevil is amazing. Yes, that's another retraction that I need to make.
You want
To be fair, that caught me by surprise as well.
Just to do all your retractions.
To just do a whole
Yeah.
episode of just me saying I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I think. Yeah, might
I
be
think
easier.
it takes a big person to admit when you're wrong. I
Oh,
love it when people like go back on what they've said. Why not?
The amount of shit that I've said wrong on here is absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
Like I used to call Doug Bradley Doug Jones. Like I just like, but the best one was the Always Sunny episode where I said that they don't swear, and then went on a later episode after I reheard it again and was like, "What? Why would you say like you know they do?" So I then went on an
Loads.
episode and wrote a statement of apology and retraction. Yeah, I'm not scared to bite it and just say, you know, I am wrong, and the Daredevil, I was wrong. I should have.
Shows
I
an
don't
open
base
mind.
everything I was saying off one episode, and I did message him and say I hate you, because
But
you were
this
right.
time you were right.
And no, Paul, like, I'm not a number lump. I am too pale to be a number lump. I'm too ghost-like. Yeah. So sorry. Stop. We'll start wrapping this up. The Ray is hey, it's a doggy. Ray is meant to be having her own trilogy.
Oh.
How do we
Okay.
feel?
Let's go.
I'm kind of curious to see where they take it. I'm assuming they're picking it up after the films finish. So what
I'm
she does
guessing so.
next.
Yeah.
There's this big. So the Empire are able to bounce back real quickly with the Starkiller base, right? So they go from being entirely toppled
Mhm.
to like rebuilding at a scary rate. So I'm kind of curious to see, like, does she kind of do that Ahsoka fight it? Like, does she do the Ahsoka spiritual journey vibe, or does she go full Ben Kenobi and start to dismantle the, you know, the shadowy tendrils of the Empire? Like, what?
And start
what-
rebuilding the
Yeah.
Jedi.
How does Rey approach being a Jedi? Could be interesting.
Is she a Jedi though? For all that she's taken the Skywalker name, does it necessarily mean that she's going to go into? I hope she doesn't try and rebuild the Jedi like what we saw in Phantom Menace, because I fucking hate them. I love.
So creepy. They're so.
It's not just
creepy.
that. There's so many of them. Like, no wonder Anakin had to go around and take half of a dozen out, because you were far too many. There was no balance in the Force with
To
the
be
Jedi.
fair, he went for the younglings, so I don't know if that was like.
Well,
But
can we
it
overlook
is
that?
creepy that they're like, no, sorry, he's too old. We need to get them real young. That never sat right with me.
Put
It's
it at the
very.
core.
We need to get them real young. We need to separate them from everything they love and teach them that emotions are bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But the Jedi had no balance. There were far too many of them. So I actually don't mind Order 66 in a way, even though like my guy Plo Koon gets the chop, like I'm devastated. Kit Fisto is like gone, I'm gutted. But my point being is I don't want Rey to rebuild the Jedi like it has been. Lessons
No.
need to be learned, and a new way of thinking and doing things needs to be established.
Yeah. And I think the whole point of Star Wars is that tug between balance, because it's about trying to get the middle ground, not like neither extreme is good.
Yeah.
Every time the galaxy swings one way or the other, that's a problem. It's about finding that, like, I wouldn't mind a bit more of a grey Jedi vibe, which you start to see in Ahsoka, and you start to see in some of the newer, and a little bit in Rebels.
Yeah.
There's
one character we did miss out, Maz Kanata. Little Maz Kanata.
So funny.
That's how you do forceful woman. That's how you do she's seen something. She's seen things. She knows things.
Spouting out wisdom left, right, and centre as well.
Little Yoda man.
Oh.
Like the little Yoda
Lady
who can talk
Yoda.
normally. And I love the fact that it's Lupita Nyong'o guy. Like I generally can't see. There's no trace of her in there.
No.
I didn't realise until I'd rewatched it this time that it was her.
I had to go and look up the cast because I was like, I kind of recognise that voice, but was nowhere near where my brain was.
Yeah.
Where's my Wookiee?
Yeah.
Didn't connect whatsoever.
Where's my boyfriend? I love that Wookiee. Greatest line ever uttered in Star Wars.
It's how she's got so much wisdom there, and she's definitely seen shit. Like she's definitely been, down in the depths. But it's when Finn's like, I need a weapon, and she's like, you fucking hold on, man. I don't like that Finn got a lightsaber before anyone else. I would have, because again, that moment when Rey picks it up would have just been perfect. I would like to have him not to known what he was doing.
Yeah. Also,
and be quick fumbling.
He could have easily accidentally done it the wrong way around, like the first time you use an EpiPen, you stab yourself in the thumb. Yeah, that would have been hilarious. Nearly stabbed
lightsaber through the
lightsaber.
leg.
Yeah, he's like, oh fuck.
Is that what it just
drops it?
Completely in the vibe of that moment and him as a character.
And I think
100%.
he'd have nailed the physical comedy because he's great at that in this film. Yeah.
Absolutely, because like Finn's got some comedic chops in here. So to have him being a fumble and like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing with that would have really worked. And then all of a sudden she has her moment of picking it up. Like this was, you missed
it
a
would have
treat.
worked better. It would have worked
better. I do think they were trying to set Finn up as is he gonna be the one where the Force Awakens? Like it was a kind of
didn't quite land though.
To a degree, but
yeah, it's a bit of a double fake that the punchline didn't land.
Yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't. And obviously the biggest MacGuffin in all of this is Luke Skywalker himself.
Love it. I've got some friends who really hate the direction they took Mark Hamill, the Luke Skywalker, that kind of like hermit, cynical hermit vibe, but I love it.
I do too.
I feel like it's great to see him like having shied away from his original ambition to rebuild the Jedi. Gorgeous.
What I really hated about the Skywalker, about Luke's character, is the direction that two directors fought with. So you had JJ, who has him standing there proud, and he's having a lightsaber passed to him. You then have Rian Johnson, who makes him chuck the lightsaber over his shoulder, to then have JJ make him pick the fucker back up in the third one. I love Rian Johnson's gutsy ballsiness of the second one to do that, because he is not in a place where that means anything to him.
Yeah. It's also a symbol of his biggest failure.
Exactly.
Of course you're going to chuck it over the cliff.
Yeah.
Of course you
Yeah.
are. It feels so much more real to me.
I really hope that one day we do get to go into doing the second movie, and I really can't think of the top of my head what it is name-wise. Rise of Skywalker Return? No.
The Rise of Skywalker is the last one, isn't it?
That's one. What's the second one called?
I don't know, but I think we're about to have our nerdy credentials revoked.
Oh God, am I getting another 3-page letter off someone mansplaining Star Wars to us? Come on.
Quickly,
I don't know.
Google.
You can go first.
Last Jedi.
Ah,
Of course it
do
is.
you nerdy up north?
But also factually incorrect.
Yeah,
In so
massively.
many ways. In so many ways, factually
Massively.
incorrect. Because Ahsoka is assumed
Still alive.
probably still kicking around at this point as well, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
100%.
Also, if you are looking at the fact that he's kind of torn, is Kylo Ren. Where is he? Is he Jedi? Is he Sith? He doesn't quite know. He's in the middle of it all.
The light side is still inside of him. As
Exactly.
His mother says.
His mother keeps telling us all the time in the first one.
I know. Imagine the guilt knowing that that's what got the love of your life killed.
Yeah.
Was your optimism and your belief in your child. Oh.
But I really do hope we do Last Jedi, because I do think Rian Johnson took a lot of risks, and it's a shame that the fan base went on the way that they did, because it's the first time. We don't need a repeat of another Star Wars. Like we've had this nostalgia fest with Force Awakens, and it's great. It brings you back into this Star Wars world. Let's kind of start to see what else is there.
Move forward.
And also, we saw, well, for me, I grew up on Star Wars. So as a child, I have this kind of nostalgic hero story.
Yeah.
I'm now in my 30s. I want a cynical character on
Look at
screen.
you.
I need that to be able to relate to. So seeing Luke Skywalker on my cynical level feels good.
Yeah. And look at you for still being in your 30s.
I know.
Well done.
It's only for a little while, but I'm going to milk it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. I'm 42 this year. You take that
You're
and
not.
run.
Meaning of life, Sammy. 42. This is the year.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Meaning of everything.
This is when you get kidnapped and hitchhike, isn't it? Don't forget your towel.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was a book my mum used to read to me as a kid. Hitchhiker's Guide to the
I
Galaxy.
used to love the radio. I used to listen to the radio play a lot as a kid.
Oh my God, that and the TV show.
Yeah.
My mum's got them on DVD. That again, the sci-fi for us comes from my mother. She's a Trekkie. She loves Star Wars. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is one of her favorite books of all time.
Oh, so funny.
And she's in Thailand at the moment, having a whale of a time, the bitch.
Ooh,
And I'm babysitting her
nice.
dogs. She is, and she's 52. I am not. You are older than me, Paul. Not by much, but you are older than me. And hey, if I look like this at 52, I will be buzzing my tits off.
Yeah. If you are 52, just claim it.
Just take it. 100%.
I mean, my eyes are there that I do wear very focals, so but this is okay.
You should see how big my notes are. I've whacked the text up.
I've had to use my work monitor because I tried to do the Marvel episode the other day with my notes at the bottom. Oh my God, I could not see. So I've my work monitor is this big and the writing is this big. Hence the reason why I've been able to see everything tonight. So I apologize, Becca.
Don't need to apologise, Mum.
All you had to do was take the text down a bit.
And you were getting your notes.
You just need to hack Sammy's computer and turn it down to 11.
No, I know I've got some mad IT skills sometimes. I am not a hacker, okay? But I do know where her mum lives, so I could have gone there.
That's true.
That's so cute.
Right, we're gonna wrap this up then.
Yes.
How do we end? Because this is not technically the end of International Women's Month, is it? Because you've still got a day left.
We've got tomorrow.
How do you end Force Awakens then? What are your final thoughts?
It was a great film. They did a good job with it. trying to think. I'm under pressure now. I didn't expect to be doing this. I was just here as a nice little guest, you know, nice little guest.
No, you're hosting, love.
I know. I'm giving a little bit of a warning. Under pressure now. Yeah, I enjoyed this film as a woman. I enjoyed the female characters. I enjoyed visual aspects. Could they have done a lot less Mary Sue? Totally. But most films with female characters, unless they're wrote by women, have a tendency to do a little bit too Mary Sue.
It's not a term I like to use, but
No,
it is
it's not.
it's sometimes, you know,
The best words.
and it is, Phoebes, final thoughts, Force Awakens?
Final thoughts. I enjoyed it. It's not a perfect film. Very few of the Star Wars films are perfect. That's not why I watch them for perfection. I watch them for sheer joy. This one fills me with joy. Can I ask one more question of you both?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in the Star Wars world.
Mhm.
Are you Sith? Are you Jedi? Are you one of the like bounty hunter, smuggler characters? What's your class if you're entering Star Wars? How are you? That's my.
Oh my God, that's such a good question. That's so hard.
Yeah,
because
I know.
I'm a power jumper. So
okay.
I'm survivalist because I couldn't survive on my own.
Yeah, okay. So maybe like a
So,
trooper, part of a squad, power squad.
I'm definitely Sith. Even though I'm soft as shit, I I worry what everyone else thinks. Like
Easily corruptible.
oh, there you go.
Someone whispering in your ear.
Yeah, I agree with what Paul's saying, but Becca, you give the answer.
Oh, I think I'm gonna have to go for Jedi because
Yeah.
I'm trying anyone surprised.
No.
I didn't even need to give an explanation. No one's surprised.
No. See, there we
That
go.
feels right.
What about you,
I can't-
Phoebes?
I think I'm the Finn character. I think everyone thinks I'm going to be a Jedi, and it turns out I'm just a guy trying to make it through, like probably blagging it quite a lot.
You know what?
I don't know how
so
to shut
see
down
that.
the shields, but I'm going to turn up.
I could so see that.
I'd love to be a Jedi. Not going to happen. Love to be Sith.
Paul says I can't control my emotions. So
classic Anakin.
yeah, I'm fucked.
You were supposed to save us.
And I have the high ground.
You were the
That's the other way
chosen one.
around. Becca should be saying that.
It's Chewie. 100%. That's me. Look, with all this hair, of course I'm Chewie.
Oh, that's brilliant. I don't think I can say any more than what the ladies have already said about this movie. It does give you the warm and fuzzies. It isn't perfect, and it does have some great conversational points. Which really you don't need to get angry about. You can just talk about it. You can just have a conversation and kind of break it down. And that is what I was hoping to do because I have had a lot of thoughts and feelings on Ray, but I don't want to just put it under a microscope and go, well, that's one of them. Like that's it, because there's a lot more to her than just what we think of her. I want to end it there.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow, if you are so inclined, we have a new episode of Monsters of North coming to YouTube. 8 o'clock. I'm not used to doing this, by the way. Paul normally asks the question and I answer. I don't lead it. Yeah, Monsters of North tomorrow, 8 a.m. On YouTube, and the audio for that episode goes up between 4 and 6. I don't know exactly what time. It's between 4 and 6. And the audio for this episode goes up at the same time. Chud, that's it. Tomorrow is Chud. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the greatest. You can't sugarcoat this one. That's right. The Screenboat review is also coming out at 12 o'clock tomorrow, so please look out for that. Ladies, what we got going on?
We've got the final day of March celebrating the women. Yes, and we are still planning what we're going to be doing going forward.
Ooh.
So you have to watch the space for Women of Nerd Culture.
Yeah.
Babes, what's your plan?
Top Gramps on Tuesday. I feel like I have to, as my fellow anime club host. He's the other woman of Top Grumps. is out. And on Friday we have Anime Club, and there might also be some check out the Twitch, because there's Jake popping up with different gaming and stuff, so it's worth going and checking that out as well. But Anime Club, we're doing I can never say the name. Freerin Beyond Journey's End, which is a really interesting. It left us divided, so it's the first time on Anime Club where we haven't both agreed on what we thought. So come and see what happens when we disagree.
So we've got Monsters on Monday, Grumps on Tuesday, potentially gaming on Wednesday. We've got Anime Club on Friday. We've got check out the Wonk socials, and we will, talk about socials in a second. But check the Wonk socials out for what they are doing. Next Sunday we are back, and we are into the classic era of Nerdy Up North, and we are doing Laurel and Hardy.
Ooh,
And you've got the lovely Jill, haven't you? Is it Jill's episode?
I'm going to say yes.
Ooh,
And know that I knew that.
convinced.
Yeah,
yes, Jill
Jill's.
is
Yeah,
joining us.
Paul, yeah.
I was just waiting. He wasn't fast enough for my liking there.
Paul's
Yes, Jill is
confirming. Yes.
Yes, Jill is joining us. Yes, so Laurel and then we are kicking off Action April with some of the greatest action movies that I have seen 2% of.
Ooh, well, that's fun because it's an excuse to watch some action flicks.
Yes.
Exactly. You can find all of our socials. We have quite a few. There's the Nerdy Up North ones, Monsters Up North, Women of Nerd Culture, Anime Club, Top Grumps, Countdown to Doomsday.
Gaming Up North.
There's a new one, Reviews Up North. Any more?
Trekking Up
Rumblecast.
North, Gigs Up North. Yeah, I think we've got everything.
Everything. We've got everything that your nerdy heart
Yeah.
will desire.
It's everything.
Right, I think that's it. I think we've covered all grounds. Are we done? We done?
Yeah.
We're done.
Well, I would like you to end it with your Wonk sign off, please.
Okay, so keep your hearts full and your fandoms fierce as ever, and we'll see you next time.
Stay nerdy, everyone. Bye.
Bye.